Hi everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. Today's project we're going to do I don't have the bracelet to show you because my daughter took it already. She didn't even give it a chance to get cold. She liked it so much she took it. So I can't even show you the bracelet that we're going to make, but if you want to refer back to the Facebook page or the picture on this video, you will see the bracelet that we are making, and it's the one that's called butterfly wings. But before we get started on anything, I want to show you something that me and my husband got today from Walmart. So I just want to show you the different lengths of Fireline. Here is a 6 pound. This one here, I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Let me zoom up a little closer. We have 6 pound, 8 pound, and 10 pound. So because the Fireline is really hard to get now and it's hard to find a 6 pound Fireline, I have looked everywhere. Other than buying Fireline online, to me it's outrageous for the price that you pay for the 50-yard roll, and plus to ship it for $6-7. Not worth it to me. I could buy a whole big spool like this. But we discovered this braided cord, and this one says 10 pound, but it's equivalent to a 4 pound monofilament fishing line. This here, as opposed to the Fireline has 125 yards, this has 150 yards. It says 10 pound. I compared it to the 10 pound Fireline, and it is much thinner. So we have 6 pound, 8 pound, 10 pound Fireline right here. This is the Fireline thread here. I would say it's a little bit between 8 and 10. It is really thin. It's braided just like the Fireline, but the Fireline 10 pound is thicker than this. If you hold them between your fingers, you could feel that this is a much thinner line than this. So I tried it anyways in beading, and it works perfectly. And it works really good for this bracelet that we're going to make today. This, as opposed to Fireline, this one was $15 at Walmart. And it's in the sporting goods where you find the fishing rods and all the fishing line. I could not find 6 pound Fireline anywhere. So I thought I would buy this because I was feeling it. When you go to the store to purchase this thread, this fishing line, it's going to have a piece of this hanging out. Just put your finger on and feel it. It feels just like Fireline. It's probably just as good as Fireline, because I find Fireline cuts, breaks, frays, just like any other thread that you use. So I'm going to show you how good it works. I'm going to use this. I have it strung on my needle. I'm saying it is bigger than a 6 pound, that's for sure. 6 pounds thinner. Yes, 6 pounds thinner than, well, yeah, it's thinner. 6 pound, and then you have the 8 pound here in the middle, and we have this. It's in comparison to the 8. It's not, it looks thick in the picture, but it's not, believe me. Anyway, I wanted to show you that good deal that we got. So my husband bought me 2 of these because I'm always running out of Fireline. And I really and truly, absolutely, with all my heart, hate Nymo. Period. I can't stand working with it. I get frustrated with it. But anyway, I hope all of you, if you have a Walmart, you go check this stuff out for yourself. Save yourself $10 and get an extra 25 yards opposed to Fireline. So, and actually, I was looking at a few of their fishing lines. If you look at the ones that are braided, that's exactly what Fireline is. It's a braided thread like this. So you got to stay away from the monofilaments for needling, because you cannot put a monofilament through a needle. But if you look for the braided threads, there was some that's 40 pound. Like, it goes really high. I'm having a hard time finding 6 pound Fireline, so I thought I'd try this 10 pound stuff, and it says 4 pound monofilament equivalent. So that's why I thought this would be perfect. So anyway, I thought I would show that all to you guys so you can save some money like I did. Now, the bracelet that we're going to make today is called Butterfly Wings. I wish I had kept it long enough, but my daughter took it, so I'm really sorry about that. I can't show you it. Sorry, I'm just changing colors here because I didn't like the purple that I had, so I picked this one. Now, for this bracelet, you will need these supplies. And here I have some turquoise and purples. Purple is my favorite color. In fact, it was my mom's favorite color, and it became my favorite color. I'm using 3 colors of Toho seed beads. So there's this one here, this darker one is called opaque purple lined. This is really pretty. This one is opaque rose, opaque pink. It's called marbled opaque pink, and it's a Toho seed bead. This is opaque turquoise, luster opaque turquoise. This is just a purple iris in a 15-0, so you will need a 15-0. You will need, okay, let me get back. You need 3 colors of Toho seed beads. Check seed beads. Again, I didn't do it in this. I'm trying to use up my beautiful new seed beads my husband bought me on those Toho ones that I showed everyone on Facebook. And you will need some super duos. Okay, so these ones are like a Picasso turquoise, lined Picasso. Really pretty bead. I'm using 6mm fire polish, and these are purple metallic in a 6mm fire polish. You will need your thread and your needle and a toggle. I'm using a toggle with 2 wire protectors because you know me and my wire protectors. And I strung on about 1.5 yards of Fireline on my needle, and I have a size 10 beading needle. Now, I may have problems getting through some areas, so keep a size 12 beading needle handy because you may have to use your size 12. I'm not sure how good this Fireline is going to work in this bracelet. Not Fireline, it's called Suffix. Yeah, Suffix. I'm not sure how good it's going to work, so it's going to be trial and error for me as well. If it is a little too thick, because we do have to go through the beads a couple of times, we don't want our beads to break, because that happened to me the other day. I used waxed Nymo, and I went through my beads. You know how I do like to do my reinforcing while I reinforced them, and ended up busting beads. So that's just not going to happen today, okay? So to get started, let me bring the camera up a little bit. On your needle, you're going to pick up, I'm gonna work with only 2 colors right now. So I'm working with the turquoise and the pink. These 2 colors. Alright, on your needle, you're going to pick up 4 of your one color, so whatever color you have. You're going to pick up 1 super duo, 1 15-0, 1 super duo, 1 15-0, 1 super duo. I'm sorry, the parrot's talking in the background saying hello and squawking and making noises. And then you're going to pick up 4 of your other color. So this will be my marbled pink. What a pretty pink. I tell you, this is gorgeous. Then you're going to pick up your 3 super duos with the 15-0 between them. So 1 super duo, 1 15, 1 super duo, 1 15, and 1 super duo. Okay, so you have this on your needle. Four super duo, 15, super duo, 15, super duo, 4 of your other color, super duo, 15, super duo, 15, and super duo on your needle. Let me just get going here so you guys can see me. Now we're going to bring these down, and you're going to leave yourself a little tail enough to put on a needle and weave your ends in, okay? I'm wrapping this around my middle finger, pinching it between my thumb and my index finger, and I'm going to go right back from the tail up through all these beads to form a ring. And you got to be careful that you catch those 15-0s in the middle there between the super duos, because they're easy to miss. Okay. Now we're just going to bring this like that. And then you're going to hold your tail out of your way. You're going to go right through the first 4 11 O's that you put on. So go through all 4 of these beads here. Okay, we're going to sew our toggle on. So pull this circle nice and tight. This thread is incredibly awesome, by the way. Alright, now you're going to pick up, I'm going to use turquoise, so I'm going to stick with a turquoise, a pink bead, and one of my dark purple ones. So I have those on my needle. Then I'm going to pick up a fire polish, a 6mm fire polish. Let those fall all the way down to my work. Okay, and then we're going to pick up, let me just get some of these beads a little out of the way here because I have no room to really work and show you guys the work. As long as I know it's in camera view, I'm good. Okay, so now you're going to put on your one end of your toggle, and I've already got it strung into the wire protector. So you're going to go through the first hole of the wire protector and into the toggle loop like so. Okay, then you're going to go back down the other side of your wire protector and just loop it around the groove that's in the wire protector to protect your thread. Kind of pinch it off there. Then you're going to go back down. So we've gone through the wire protector, go back through the 6mm fire polish and through the very first bead below of the fire polish. And then you're just going to pick up the next 2 beads that you have. So I'm going to pick up a pink one and a turquoise. Alright, now you're just going to make a circle. Oh my goodness. Make a circle and go back. You're exiting here. On this side, you're going to go back through those 4 beads and pull that in place. So you've just put your toggle on. And now you're going to go through all of this again and reinforce it one time. One more time. So let's go back up through these 3 beads. Turquoise, the pink, the purple. And I'm going through the fire polish. I try to do this all in one pass. Through one end of the wire protector and through the toggle like that. So I've made a pass through all those beads, one pass. And pull your fire line through, or thread I mean. Go back down the other side through the fire polish. Through the 6 or 11 below the fire polish, and make sure it hooks in your groove, and then back down the other 2. Alright, and pull your thread nice and tight. Hi Miku. And then go through these 4 beads. And I would not recommend reinforcing it again if you use this kind of thread. Pull this nice and tight. And there, your toggle is securely on there. So pull it good and tight. Now, you're going to flip your work and work your way back up to the 3rd bead of these 4. So go through the bottoms of your super duo, still the 15, the super duo, the 15, and the super duo. Okay? And pull. Now go through the first 3 beads here. And this is what you should have. And where you should be exiting. Like that. Miku! Why are you being a moron?
Hello.
Never mind hello. Alright, now we're just going to repeat going like this one, only we're going to use a little bit less beads. So we're going to pick up, because we're working off of the 3 pink here, you're going to pick up 1 pink one of your super duos, a 15-0, a super duo, a 15-0, and a super duo. Then you're going to pick up 4 more of your other color. 2, 3, 4. And again, you're going to pick up 3 super duos with a 15 in between. So 1 15, 1 super duo, 1 15, and 1 super duo. And you're going to pick up 1 pink. Now, from this point on, for each section you do, from this point on, you're only going to pick up on each end one of the color that you're coming out of. So I'm coming out of the pink. You're going to pick up 1 over here and 1 over here. And then you're going to go into the bead behind the one you're exiting and come through that bead this way. So you're exiting out of the same hole as your thread is to make a circle. So just do that. And pull it nice and tight. And what you've just done here is made an X in there. So now you're going to weave your thread back up through the pink one, the 11-0, the super duo, the 15, the super duo, the 15, the super duo, and then through the first 3 beads of those turquoise ones. So we're going to exit through there like so. And now we're just going to repeat that again. Okay. This thread almost feels like it's waxed. It's such a beautiful thread. And these are going to be all funky like this. They're not going to be meant to be perfect. And you really won't see them much once we get this all embellished. Now we're going to start with our turquoise. And we're going to pick up our super duo, our 15, our super duo, a 15, and a super duo. Then you're going to pick up the start of your new 4 color, or your 4 of your next color, which is the pink, and then repeat the super duo, 15, super duo, 15, and another turquoise. So I've only picked up 1 turquoise. Oopsies, we still need a super duo. I'm missing one. Thought I grabbed it, but I guess it just didn't. It fell off. There we go. He's saying, hello. He's just being goofy. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay? Now you're going to pick your work up, go back 1 bead, behind the one you're exiting, and exit your needle through where you're exiting right now. So exit through there. And pull. Nice and tight. And work your way back up into the super duos. You're just going to weave around till you're coming out of the 3rd bead in there. And pull it tight. Now, for this bracelet, because we are going to embellish it, it's going to pull it tighter together. So what we want to do is make it 1/2 inch longer than, at least a 1/2 inch longer in this particular area here, because it's going to shorten up a little bit when we do the embellishment on the side and when we do the embellishment in the middle here. Okay? And one thing to keep in mind, when you finish doing all of this, you go ahead and sew your other piece of your toggle on, but make sure you lay your bracelet down, because when we come back through here, we're going to stick a bead in on each side of here in order for us to go through the super duos to embellish this side. We're going to stick a nice dark one in there, but that's not right now. So when you do this other one, turn your toggle. Make sure if your toggle is one-sided like mine is, make sure you sew your other end on, but this side, your other end like this, is going to be face up. See, I have only one side to my toggle. So I'm going to make sure this toggle is facing up the same way. This is, when I get ready to sew that bead in there, it's going to kind of probably lock that in place like it did with my other bracelet. Alright, so I'm going to go offline. I'm going to make all of my sections here. The last bracelet I made was too small, so it fit my daughter's arm perfectly. I will do this. I will sew this other toggle on, so exact same way this one is, just mirrored image on the other side. Keep in mind, at least minimum ½ an inch bigger in this. Okay, and I'll be back to show you what to do next. Okay, I have finished making my sections, and I have sewed on the other part of my toggle, and now we are exiting out of the last bead because we went in a circle when we finished our toggle, so we should be exiting out of here. So now you're just going to pick up one of your dark colors, so I'm picking up the purple, and I'm just going to go up into the top part, the top hole of the Super Duo in row. Okay, now you're just going to pick up a 11-0 and go into the next hole, and I'm using my dark purple for this. And then when I get to the middle one here, where the X is, right here, you can see it's blue. So I'm going to alternate the colors now, and I'm going to put a pink one between these two here. So I'm just going to go into that, oops, we want one, into that Super Duo there, like this. And so far, this thread has been incredibly beautiful. But I am using a size 12 beading needle. I did switch needles. So now you're going to continue putting 2 more purple ones on, the darker ones. So we have one there. We're going to put one there. Oopsies. And now we have our pink one here. So we're going to put a turquoise one in between here like that. And we're going to do that. Pick up a purple one into the next, well, darker color, and into the next one. So now I'm exiting between these sections here, so we're going to pick up a pink one, and I'm going to put a pink one in there and exit through the next Super Duo. And I'm working out of all the top holes of the Super Duos that we were in. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way across. And when you get to the end, I'll come back and show you what to do next. So just stick, you could stick all the same color across. You could do whatever you want. I'm just doing it in color sequence like that. Okay, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm at the end where I've put them all on the outside here. Now, what you're going to do is pick up a dark purple one and just go through these beads at the top from this way down, and then just jump across. I went into these 2 beads, and I'm going into these 2 beads. Okay, and now I'm pulling this nice and tight because I want this end to be nice and tight here. And now I'm going to pick up another purple one. So all I did was I went up these 2 into my toggle here, jumped across and went into those 2, and now I'm just going to go across up into the Super Duo right beside where I'm exiting in the 11-0 there, and pull. Okay, so I put one here, went up these 2, green and purple, pink, went across, went down in those 2, picked up one and exited in there, and now I'm going to carry on and do the same thing on this side, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm at the end now where I've completed both sides, and as you can see, it's kind of beveled right here. So make sure your toggle is, like I said, both ends are facing up the right way. So now I'm going to get ready to put on my last purple bead, and I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the other side. I'm going to go up through these 2 beads here, up through where your toggle is, up through those. I'm skipping this middle one, and I'm just going down these 2 beads here. Actually, I'm going to go down the 3rd one, because now we're going to go right across into the beads and start with our top embellishment. So pull that nice and tight, and that side's done. And you kind of want to make sure it's beveled out the same way as the other one. So now you're going to exit, because this is the top part of my bracelet, you're going to exit, go through the first 3 beads. For some reason I can't go through this third one because it's pretty tight in there already. There we go. So go into the first 3 beads as if you are doing, pull this nice and tight. And this is where you want to try on your bracelet to make sure it fit you. Mine's getting to be a good length now. It's probably going to shorten a little bit more with this middle embellishment as well. So now we're exiting here. Oops, wrong end. Oops. So we're exiting here. Now you're going to pick up, you're going to work with your 50 So let me just get these guys out of my way here. Because now you're going to just work with your 50 and your 6mm fire polish. Get these out of my way. Alright. Sorry about that. Alright, pulling tight. Pick up one 15-0, one 6mm fire polish, and one 15-0. Now you're exiting out of your thread. I'm holding this towards me. So my thread is exiting towards me. Jump over and go through the 2 middle beads in the next X. And go up. Exit your needle outward now. So go this way. Same way my thread's exiting here, I'm entering on this side the same way. And pull that bead on top. Again, it's going to tighten it in there again, so your bracelet's going to get a little shorter. Pick up another 15-0. Go back through your fire polish. Pull that tight. Pick up another 15-0. And now go back through your beads, these 2 beads in the middle. And exit through and place your fire polish on top like that, pulling everything nice and tight. Now you're just going to go back through the 15-0 and the fire polish, and on a diagonal, slant, or whatever, you're going to go through, exit through that 15-0 again. And you're going to pull that nice and tight. Now you're going to exit your needle in those 2 beads in the middle there, so you can put on your next fire polish, keeping your work all nice and tight. Okay, pick up a 15-0, a fire polish, a 15-0. I'm exiting towards me, so I'm going to enter towards me. Oopsies, I forgot to put a bead in there. Very good, Ruby. Oh well, you ain't going to see it, I don't think. And then you're going to pick up another 15, exit back up through your fire polish, pick up another 15, and go back through these 2 beads towards yourself, if you're holding your work that way, and give it a tight pull. Now go through the 15, the fire polish on an angle, and go through the other 15, crossing like an X. Just go through it that way. Alright, and pull that tight, and drop down, go through these 2 middle beads again, like so, and pull nice and tight and lock that in place. And this is what you have. I'll show you one more time, and then I'm going to go off camera and finish it and come back and show you what the finished bracelet looks like. It's very beautiful. I just absolutely love this. And I like fire polish as a top embellishment because it doesn't snag like a bicone does. So this is really smooth, so you don't have to worry about this snagging on your clothing and damaging your clothing. So I'll come back and I'll show you what the finished piece looks like. Okay. Okay, so I have finished embellishing all the top of the bracelet. As you can see, it is completely finished. Mine is a little too big, but I make all my bracelets too big, so this is nothing new for me. I'm bad for this. So when I said to leave a ½ inch, I left more like an inch, and now my bracelet's way too big. But that's okay, because I'll still wear it. It is a gorgeous bracelet. It did turn out really lovely. That's the bottom of it. And that's the top of it. If you find it kind of, just go like this. Just run your finger along the bottom of it, and all of your little wings will pop out. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and you guys have fun making this as much as I did showing you how to make this. It is really pretty. Really, really gorgeous. It's another one of my favorite bracelets. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you guys soon on the next video. Bye-bye.